How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. Happy Tuesday night. And welcome to Marvel Bros. We cover all things Marvel and everything pop culture. We have a big day today. Sensei, what are we checking out today?
Yo, today we get episode 6 of What If.
Oh,
And
yes.
we are pumped. Of course, you guys know, if you don't know, we usually don't watch any of the other trailer stuff that comes out for anything, really. We just watch like the first 2, maybe 3 trailers that initially come out for something, and then we don't usually watch anything else. And I know that they had the mid-season trailer today, and we don't usually check that type of stuff out because it's super spoilery for us because
Yep.
we dive so deep into everything. But with all that being said, though, I am so pumped for today's episode. Today is the Killmonger episode, though. I think that's all we know so far.
Mhm.
And I'm pumped. What are you expecting to see from today's episode, bro?
This is one of the few episodes that I really don't know what to expect, man.
Mm.
With that said, I didn't expect to get what we got with the zombie episode either. But,
I could agree.
in terms of, what if Killmonger saved Iron Man? That's just something I just never really thought about, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm glad we're going to see Killmonger's character come back. I wonder if Michael B. Jordan's going to be coming back
That's what I was thinking
for the
about today
audio.
too.
But
The character looks a little different than the drawn character that the cartoon that they have, and usually when they have done that, it's because it's a different voice actor. So I guess we'll really see today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I'm in the dark, man. I really don't know what to expect, where that's going to go. I'm really curious as to how it affects Iron Man or Tony Stark. Whether he even becomes the first Iron Man, or if he does, maybe is still a weapons person rather than stopping everything.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited to show you that, man. Other than that, I have no idea what to expect with this episode, man. I have a lot more questions than I do ideas as to what's happening.
Oh man, I understand that completely because I think, but this is one of the ones that kind of stood out to us the most, even when we first got the What If trailer, because we saw the Stark missile fall next to Tony, and then we see Killmonger come in, grab it, and then throw it, and then it's like, yo, what is going on? So, just that basis alone has me super pumped, for everything that's going to be going on with it.
No, yes, definitely. Do you think we're going to see anyone else in this episode?
I think we might see. I mean, who knows, yo? I think we might see a lot of people, especially depending on if we go, not in the future, but if it plays out, you know what I mean? If we go ahead a little bit from that point of when Killmonger saves Iron Man, if we skip that point and we go to if maybe we might see the events of Iron Man 1, 2, and 3 play out or something like that, you know what I mean? Or the Avengers or I don't know what we could see from this, to be completely honest. But I feel like yes, we're gonna see a lot of other heroes and a lot of other characters in this episode tonight. Do you feel the same way?
I do too, man. But I'm still so curious as to how all this plays out in the bigger scheme of things. Are we gonna see a team come together based off these episodes? Are we going to see continuations of each episode? Are we going to see a part 2 to Marvel's What If Zombies episode? But maybe that's what season 2 is about. Is obviously introducing new what ifs, but also continuing them where they left off. How would you feel about that?
I think that would be maybe one of the best things that we could see come from these shows is the continuations in another season, I guess you could say, not in the next season, other than this being directly transformed into a live action adaptation as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the only thing that could make this show better, I guess you could say, is if we really do see these live action things happening as well. But on the notion of what you were saying, I think having season 2 continue to build off of those stories will be amazing. But I kind of feel like all of those stories are going to become intertwined anyway. So
Mhm.
maybe season 2 of What If is like either following the new team or whatever,
Mhm.
and then we get some type of Guardians of the Galaxy type of, not Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yeah.
DC Legends of Tomorrow type of thing, where
Yeah.
we have that What If team kind of acting as the time variant authority,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Mhm.
That's kind of what I mean. I have no idea. Once again,
Yeah, this is all speculation at this point, man. Like
big
the show's
spec.
been the show's been so unpredictable. Uh until as soon as until we watch the episode, we really don't have no idea as to what to expect, and I appreciate that because we haven't had a whole lot of that um in the MCU for a while. We kind of expected and talked a lot about what we could think happen, and at some point or another, what we talk about has showed up in a lot of the movies. So, and with
Yes.
this, it's unique in that we haven't been spot on until we start watching it and kind of start thinking about, okay, where are we going with this episode, and start looking at
Mm.
what's the end game for this episode. And for a lot of what we've seen, we've called a couple things, and so I'm just really excited for the show, man. How many? We have, like, what, 4 more episodes after this, right?
Yes, I believe we do have 4 more episodes
I
because
think we have
this
10
is
episodes.
6. Yeah, 6. Yeah, so we have 10 more episodes, and then we just got the mid-season trailer as
Mhm.
well. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's a good point. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
that'll do
but
it.
definitely that'll do it. Um, I honestly was so baffled by last week's episode, bro. Like
Mhm.
it just left me. I mean, every single one of these episodes, one after another, have
Yeah,
left us at a loss for words. You know what I
yeah,
mean? There's nothing else to really there's nothing else to really like, say about it. We've
yeah.
just been like mind blown to the 10th power, so to speak.
Mhm.
And I mean, I just know that we're gonna be blown out of the water again. And I feel like unlike all the other what ifs, this one seems just a little bit more peculiar for some reason. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like um Killmonger and Iron Man, it just seems so wild, I guess you could
mhm.
say. Like every other
Yeah.
what if we've gotten up until this point
Kind of
hasn't
makes sense at
been.
some point.
Yeah, exactly. It makes sense up until a point, and then you're not really like, what the, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it takes you like, oh snap, that's crazy. What if that did happen? But
yeah,
for this one, it makes me feel like, wait, why,
yeah.
why did this happen? Like,
Mhm.
and even when we see Killmonger in the trailer, he looks like the Killmonger we got from Black Panther,
Mhm.
and I mean, I know that he was in the military for a while, but yo, like, could you like?
Yeah.
I don't even know. Like, are we going to see him still getting those kills that are
Mhm.
coming up as dots on him? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
is he still doing that? Has he already done it? There's just so many questions that we
Mhm.
could just.
Yeah, and I think this can give us insight as to where he was during the events of, the beginning of the MCU. Um,
Mm,
with that said, I think him just being there to save Iron Man tells us he was in that country, uh, possibly, regardless
mhm.
of when he was introduced. Um, does that matter? I'm not sure. Do you think we'll see him come back in live action though? Because that's the
I would
question.
hope
Like,
so.
because I know we weren't total fans of him being killed off in the first
Yeah,
Black Panther. But so you think we'll see him again?
I really hope we do get to see him again.
Hmm.
Because one, Killmonger was one of the most humanized villains that we've really had in the
Yeah,
MCU. To like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
and on another note, we now not and then on another note, Michael B. Jordan is a really good actor. So it doesn't it doesn't make sense as to why they would miss out on having that type of, you know what I mean? That type of
yeah,
high level, I guess you could say, like just to keep it like for lack of better words, that such a high level person,
yeah.
kind of backing up what's going on. And I think he portrayed Killmonger like awesome, like in an awesome way. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
think he did a really good job of portraying that Killmonger character, getting us
Mhm.
all really invested in the story.
Yeah.
And like we saw with uh, Win Wu, we
Hmm.
get so invested in their personal story
Yeah.
because I feel like Black Panther is just as much Killmonger's story as it is T'Challa's
Yeah.
because the movie starts off with Killmonger. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So the same way this new Shang-Chi kind of starts off with Win Wu. You know what I mean? You get
Hmm.
this focus on and even Infinity War did that with Thanos. It started with Thanos.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? It starts
Yeah.
the movie with the person that the movie is usually about. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So when we got that backstory of Killmonger and just seeing what how he was, how things were done to him, and
Hmm.
how he was left on the side, and not knowing how that actually came full circle until the end of the movie.
Yeah.
I feel like we in this, he's like maybe the what if isn't maybe the what if is what if his dad didn't get killed or something like that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like that's the breaking point is like his
Like
dad is still alive or something like that.
you're thinking he becomes the Black Panther before T'Challa in this movie?
No, oh, I guess that would be what would happen.
Like if his dad never
Technically, if
died.
his dad never, no, because his dad was still gone. Like his dad was still gone, and T'Challa's dad is the one that was Black Panther because that's when he
Oh,
came. When he
yeah.
came to him in the beginning, he was in the suit, so he's the.
Hmm.
I I don't know. I don't know how it works. We're not. I don't think we know how the Wakandan
I think
royalty laws work. I just
okay.
know that he had an opportunity to become the
Hmm.
Black Panther and to become the king. He could have threw his
Yeah.
hat in there, but Shuri could have did the same thing because she's
Yeah.
of the royal bloodline, and it's just like no, I'm not going to do it.
Hmm.
So we could have seen that happen. You know what I mean? Like you're
Yeah.
saying.
I think what would needed to happen was if Black Panther's uncle never left and was still in Wakanda when the king died, his uncle would have taken the throne
Mm-hmm.
by blood, meaning, and his eldest son would have been next in line rather than T'Challa. So in that particular case, Killmonger would be next in line if
Well,
something
not.
happened.
I
But
don't
I
think
don't
not.
know.
I don't think that's how. I think the uncle would have become king, but after he died, T'Challa still would have been next in line because he's the oldest and his dad was the oldest.
I thought no. I thought Killmonger was older. It made it seem like he was his older cousin, or was he younger? I don't know. Let me
No,
check
but we
this.
never actually got to see how old T'Challa was. We only saw the son's backstory, uh, Killmonger's backstory. We never saw Black Panther's backstory. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure they're like the same age, and that was that was one of the biggest fusses about everything. Is like, yo,
Mm.
like what? My net, like, yo, I had a whole cousin the whole time that you never told me about. You know?
Yeah.
Yo, I left my water outside of the room and I have to get it, yo. My throat is so dry, bro.
The younger brother of the late T'Challa.
All right, I got it. I got it. So, what?
He had the right to challenge. I don't know if it says. Yeah, I don't think we know per se.
I'm pretty sure they are the same age though, because
Hmm.
I think when the dad goes to the uncle, I think
Hmm.
he talks about his son, or the uncle talks about his nephew. It's something like that. I can't recall exactly, but I'm pretty sure they were around the same age.
Okay, let's see
But
what Reddit has to say.
but nevertheless, I do believe that it still would have been T'Challa. Well, whoever is older in that case would have been the second in line. But like I was saying earlier, we really don't know how the Wakandan royalty bloodline works, because we don't know. Because what I'm saying is, if Killmonger is older than T'Challa, all that matters is that T'Challa is the rightful king's the firstborn son, and
That's
then
true.
and then Killmonger, he would become king only after T'Challa would die, the same way it would be with his dad. You know what I mean?
That's true.
If
But
I'm
as king, if he wanted to, he'd be like, "Hey, T'Challa gotta go. You know, let me go on the down low because my son needs to be king next." He's like, "No, T'Challa, the hell,
for real.
you know." But it does look like T'Challa was older than him, possibly by like 1 or 2 years. It's not confirmed yet, but it does seem like T'Challa was in fact older than him. So
And that's what caused like so much.
yeah, but Killmonger definitely did have the right to challenge him in Black Panther for that role.
As did Shuri, I believe. I'm pretty sure Shuri had the right to challenge as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, she did because she said I challenge, remember? And then she was like, nah,
Yeah.
I'm just playing. So
Yeah.
anyone that is of royal
Everyone
blood
looked at her
can
like, "What?"
challenge for the throne, but it's just that they were so respectful in their right, you know what I mean, and whatnot,
Yeah.
that they just didn't do that.
All right. So it's
But,
11:52.
I was about to say, let me check. You
Yeah.
said that's crazy. You literally said that right on the money, bro.
I was like, it's 11:52. Last time it came out like
Yep,
10
it's
minutes
there.
early too.
It's there.
All right. All right, folks. All
What
right,
if
folks.
Killmonger rescued Tony Stark?
Oh, here we go.
Yo, okay, let's get the watch party going.
Oh, that's important. I probably should. Yeah.
Let's change the episode to this one, and then if you are in our Discord, the link will be going out right now for you guys to be able to join and watch with us live right this moment. Let's back over here.
All right, here we go. It looks interesting, bro.
Yo, I am so
The Dora Milaje is right
juiced
behind him.
right
Oh,
now.
snap.
Okay, let's get this out to the Discord.
I got some good old bubble yum gum. Doesn't last for anything. However, the flavor's pretty good. So
That's all that matters. Am I
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Alrighty, yo, the time has come.
All right, man. I'm ready for this. I don't think we're ready. I feel like
I
we're going
am.
in like we thought we knew of what malignant was, and then just didn't happen that way. You know.
Yo, yeah, we had no idea what was going on with Malignant. What is up, Rohit? How
Yo,
are
how's
you
it
doing,
going?
yo? We are about to get the
Welcome,
watch
welcome.
party started for What If Killmonger Rescued Tony Stark. It's up and ready to go right now. I hope everybody is jumping in. I hope everybody is getting your times all synced if you're not in the Discord to be able to just join that watch party right off the rip. I am so pumped right now. All right, bro. You ready to just dive on into it, man?
I'm ready to dive right in, man. Go ahead and press play. Let's see if we're.
I kind of hear a little bit of an echo, I think, coming from your side, possibly, but I think it might be all good if not.
Okay.
Because I thought I heard something, but I might have been mistaken. It might have just been when I started up the share and all that good stuff. Alrighty. I think everything's good. I don't hear nothing anymore. I think we're good. I'm fucking pumped.
If I remember right, do I mute my Disney Plus? No, I don't mute it, right?
No.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because the tab is muted.
Okay.
So we should
Still
be all
getting used to
good.
this, folks. Still getting used to
Yeah.
this.
All right, bro. All right, everybody. If you're watching, get ready. And 3, 2, let's get it.
Oh no!
What?
Come on, start. Okay, here we go. All right,
I
good.
am so pumped right now.
A good old
A good old,
intro. You know.
the good old intro.
All right, here we go.
Yes, sir.
This
This
intro never
intro
gets
never
old,
gets
bro.
old, bro. Like,
Like
never gets old, bro.
Black
Black
Panther.
Panther. Space. Reality.
Do you think we'll see Black Panther in this episode?
Ooh, I didn't even think about that. It's a prison. Look! Oh,
Bro, he's gonna like purposely kill the queen.
of course.
Then go to war with the U.S. himself. Oh my god, bro!
What? Biggest cliffhanger yet, baby. Holy,
And there's
bruh.
there's no end credit scene either.
Bro, oh my god, that was yo, that was freaking awesome, bro. That was freaking awesome, bro.
Damn.
Yo, come on, yo, that was another spectacular episode coming from Marvel's What If. I mean, episode 6. I mean, bro, they just keep delivering and going above and beyond with all expectations that we may have.
Bro, I just can't right now. Like they did that shit. They were like, you know what? We're gonna do this. We're gonna go to war with the U.S. We're gonna kill Black Panther. We're gonna kill Rhodes. We're gonna kill Iron
And
Man.
yeah, I was like, and Tony, bro.
And then we're gonna end it on the biggest cliffhanger the MCU has ever seen. Like,
Bro,
yo,
like the Watcher's the emotion that you've seen from the Watcher as he's just looking at the entire just world just crumble from what it could have been, yo. It was like you were right there with him. You could feel
yeah.
that pain that he was feeling, bro. That was impeccable. That was impeccable, bro. God damn.
Okay, so what did we talk about this episode? We talked about maybe seeing Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't think that would happen, and it happened.
Yeah.
We talked about what else
We
did we cover?
we talked about possibly Killmonger's dad being like
Oh
not
yeah,
actually dying
yeah.
at the like he did at the beginning of Black Panther. But that still happened the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, what is up with it, my man Tristan? My man
Yo,
said
how's
my
it going,
favorite
Tristan?
episode so far, bro. I this is definitely in the top. This is like top 5. I don't
This
even know,
might
man. I like this. I don't even know, bro. These episodes have been so good. I mean, we
honestly
got 6
for
episodes.
me, this might be my second favorite episode.
Yeah.
I still love the zombie episode more,
Yeah, I
but
think it's like zombies. This one,
it's
Captain
really
Carter,
close.
or
It's
Doctor
really close.
Strange, and then Captain Carter. I think
Yeah.
that might be. Nah, I don't know, bro. I don't know. These episodes have been so fucking good. This was a great episode. Let us know, everyone. Let us know how you guys felt about this in the comment section right now. Let us know how you were feeling about this episode. What was your favorite part? What did you think we were gonna see versus what we saw? Like, yo, I know we are just mind blown right now, bro. Because that was, I mean, the sheer storytelling that they did right there was ridiculous, bro.
Yeah, I just wasn't prepared, you know,
That
and
was better than Black Panther almost. Like,
I would love. I think it's one of the comments that we had earlier talked about how this in live action would have been legendary. Um, I really didn't expect Iron Man to die like that. let
Yeah.
alone Rhodes and Black Panther. I didn't see that at all. Um,
Honestly, though,
it was cool
uh,
that we basically saw everything that took place in Iron Man in
yeah,
some
Iron
capacity,
Man 1.
and that was
Yeah,
pretty cool. Um, man, I just can't believe they did that to us though with that fat teaser
that
at the end.
that fat
Damn,
teaser. Prince of Latveria said, "This is close to the worst episode in my opinion so
really?
far. Rushed and stupid decisions scattered all over." I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. You're gonna have to give me some. You're gonna have to give me some good reasons behind that comment right there, bro. Because for me personally, there was nothing was scattered. There was no stupid like I don't see what you saw. Like nothing felt rushed. It honestly felt it just felt short. It felt like
Yeah.
this episode more than every other one felt like there's gonna be a two. Like this one and the last one. Like the last three that we've had, like this one being one of those three, all ended as if there is a you know what I mean? Like a
Mhm.
part two to it.
The way I look at it is, um, I definitely see where he's coming from, but at the same time, I can't.
From what point though? Like where he's coming
Not
from
that
with what?
not that it's the worst episode ever, but more so in that they might have been a little rushed. But like I can't. I don't think we can properly say that because it's a short.
They're 30-minute episodes,
Yeah,
yo.
it's a short. You can't, like it's not. If it was an hour and they did that, okay, there might be some issues there, you know.
Exactly.
But for a short alternate reality story, I feel like it kind of warrants it to be kind of rushed. And
And
um,
I don't think it's so much rushed, but it's straight to the point because we already know somewhat of the story. So
mhm,
there's no reason for them to basically waste time on a lot of things that we
mhm,
wouldn't, that we already know. Like we
yeah,
already know things that have transpired like in
mhm,
the MCU already. So everything that we're getting is using the same foundation. It's just
mhm,
building a different house.
mhm,
So we don't like as long as we keep everything that's ever happened in the MCU in our mind, which is what I do when I'm watching it, then
mhm,
it doesn't seem rushed to me because it's like, okay, it's kind of obvious as to the next. For me, it's like it's not rushed because it's obvious that they have to get to the point because we can't waste time on character development. And there's no reason to waste time on character development because all the characters are already developed. They're just being reused in a different way.
Another thing that I will say that I think is unique about this show is that any person can interpret it as they want because it's a what if, you know. And I think
That's
it's
yeah,
written and the story's told in a way that allows the audience to choose what they believe is going to happen next, and or view the episode as a whole. And I think that's what makes this show so unique, that it does give you the ability to kind of really kind of break down, um, your thoughts and really think about what happens in each episode and how it might be different or how it might even change, the real MCU if it ever
yeah,
became, you know, a
canon,
real thing. And
like
so
live
I think,
action thing.
and that's one of the reasons why this show is one of my favorite. With that said, obviously it does have its issues, but I think those issues are meant to be there, in my opinion, in order to have that level of, what is it? I don't even know what word to use. That level of thought process when it comes to each episode. And
Oh,
so,
like the complexity of it. It's supposed to
yeah,
make you think. It's supposed to make you.
mhm,
No, I understand, and I agree with what you're saying for sure. But when it comes to like, I think someone said this the same. Like someone said a similar comment about last week's episode as well,
mhm,
and it's just I feel like everyone is expecting like an hour long worth of content from these 30-minute episodes, and it's like
mhm,
that's just not like everyone is going in. I don't, and to me, I'm mind blown with every episode because I'm like, bro, what the? This is something that would have never happened in
mhm,
our MCU that we have
yeah,
established right now. So it's something to just appreciate so much more. because I feel like every decision is built off of who that character would be
Mm-hmm.
and who they are. Like everything Killmonger does, like I was even looking at the comments like as it was going, and everyone was like, "Yep, that's Killmonger." Like, you know what I mean? We're
Yeah.
not surprised that he's doing this. Like, we're not surprised that he's being this type of person. But it was just like, yo,
Yeah.
yeah. Michael says this proves that we have a what if season 2. Yes,
Yep.
sir. That what if season 2 is gonna be crazy. Um, Tristan said a live action Marvel Studios zombies might be happening. Yeah, I saw that today. I saw that announcement
Wait,
from the
really?
creator. Yeah, the creator of
Whoa.
that episode said that today about this was like a trial or something to see if it was
Oh, see?
going.
See, I was right. I said the
Yeah,
same thing during our. That's awesome.
yeah. Real Wade Nation says this this what if series is so boring minus zombie part. I'm wanting to not finish and watch the Office reruns. Man, that's too bad.
Man, yeah.
Even to me, the sequel trilogy is better story. I don't even know what that means, to be honest, Wade.
Sequel trilogy.
I don't even know what that has. I don't even know what that's pertaining to. But um, yo, I am truly baffled that anyone doesn't like this series. Like I really am. Like, because I never thought we were gonna get any animation type of cartoon what if series ever, and we just had a Gundam in MCU, bro. Like, come on, bro. I don't
And it was
understand.
even
Like,
referenced as an enemy in this
it
one.
was even referenced as Gundam. Like, bro, come on.
Mhm.
Like, come on, bro. Like, how do you not?
The
I don't
way
know what. I just don't understand. I need to know what you guys expected from this series, because I just don't know. Maybe you guys haven't read the What If comics before, so you're not really sure how this works. But all of this is pretty spot on to how What If works. They don't spend too much time talking about anything. Each What If is usually like a one issue. I'm pretty sure it's like a one
yeah.
issue comic anyway. So they have to get to the point of what's going on. So maybe I don't know. Maybe you guys should go check out some What If comics and see how those stories are already built, because they've been doing a bloody good job with these with these episodes. Yo.
It's hard because when the show was announced, really didn't know what expectations to have, you know? But
Mm-hmm.
like you were saying, we do know what the comics are like. They're very get to the point. They're very straightforward. And a lot of them, they do end on huge cliffhangers. So,
Yo, this is sticking straight to the source material in
but
a way. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Like coming into this show, like what were you expecting coming to this? Like before we watched episode one, in terms of what scope were you looking at with this show?
I thought basically we were gonna see like small scale things,
Hmm.
like what if Iron Man met Spider Man earlier, like something like that. You know what I mean? Just small little continuity blips, I guess you could say. What
Hmm.
if Captain Marvel never left and stayed here on Earth? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like stuff like that. Things that would just the immediate what ifs that were coming to our mind when the show began,
Yeah.
because we were even talking about a couple of them, and it was like all of the what ifs that we were talking about, it was like just pertaining to the MCU only, like
Yeah.
different things that would have happened in the MCU. But what we got is freaking Janet Van Dyne causing the zombie virus. Like what we
Yeah.
got was Hank Pym murdering all the Avengers. Like, bro, all of this is literally blown every expectation that I had for this show out of
Hmm.
the water. And let's not mention this is some of the darkest content that we have seen from the MCU, animation or not. You know what I mean? That really doesn't
Hmm.
matter, because they're gonna test the waters with the animation, and I know we're gonna see something crazy like this in the live action stuff. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But how are you coming into this?
You know, I didn't take it seriously. And what I mean by that is
Mm,
my hopes were very low in terms of what they were going to give us. Only because of one division. WandaVision
Mm-hmm.
like disrespected the hell out of us, in my opinion. And I think having those low expectations and real and like for me, I just thought to myself, okay, if this show's any good, um, it's gonna be because uh, they're gonna be fun, get to the point stories that
Mm,
we don't expect, you know.
yes.
And so far, that's what they've delivered. Um, with that said, fun also could mean boring, you know. Um, but I'm glad with the episodes that we've gotten. Um, I am only curious as to what they're gonna give us next, man. Like, what do you think?
I, I I just want to say that I had my expectations were low, like yours at first,
Mm-hmm,
but after watching Loki and hearing Tom Hiddleston say that the events in this show are going to, affect the
mm-hmm.
MCU somehow, some way, that is what made me appreciate this show even more
Yeah,
because I knew we were going, like you said, I knew we were going to get some fun stuff, some stuff that we would never see. Like,
yeah.
once again, my expectations have been blown out of the water with what we've gotten in
Mm-hmm,
terms of the sheer like craziness in the epic report. I mean, episode 1 alone with Captain Carter was
yeah.
awesome. And once again, we get straight to the point. We didn't have to lead up to how what I can't even think of Captain America's real name right now. We
Steve
didn't even
Rogers.
have to, we didn't have to see how Steve got to that point of getting the serum in his arm. We already
Mm-hmm,
know that story, like I was saying before. So it's like, boom, this is what happens. Okay, now what? Now we see every beat of that movie, but from the perspective of Captain Britain instead of Captain America. And
yeah.
this in this episode, I feel like it did a very good job of blending Black Panther and Iron Man 1 together. Like that's
No, yeah,
basically
for sure.
like it did a beautiful job of blending it together. So if you think about the storyline that comes from Iron Man 1 and then the storyline that comes from Black Panther, and then and as you're watching this, then everything is a lot more cohesive and it makes a lot of sense as to why there are, I guess you can say, skips. But
Mm-hmm,
once again, man, like I think the next episodes to come from this are gonna be so freaking crazy, bro. Like
mm-hmm,
because we didn't see any cohesiveness from this episode, unfortunately. But I mean, I didn't really expect any,
mm-hmm.
and I don't really expect any from maybe anything until like the last 2 episodes,
Yeah.
possibly. So like, it's like let's see what's going. I'm just enjoying the ride so much.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Michael Jimenez says, I read 2 What If comics. One is What If Silver Surfer has the Infinity Gauntlet,
Okay.
and What If Spider-Man joins the Fantastic Four.
Okay.
Nice. Oh yeah. Also, what if Spider-Man never became a crime fighter? Okay, so do those what if stories that you like read before, since you've read multiple ones, and now watching the show, do you kind of get that same type of feeling that you get from the comics? Of, oh man, this is awesome if this would have happened or whatever the case may be. Do you get that same type of, I don't want to say nostalgia, but do you get that same feeling from the show that you would get from the comics?
Thinking
Um,
about it, watching each episode, it does feel like I just watched if a story that was on a comic book just be animated, you know,
mhm.
and that I think is a pretty unique and even a good way of telling stories. In that
Mhm.
they're very direct. You know what direction they're going. It's unexpected. It's new. Um, and I don't know. There's just a lot of opportunity there if they do it right. Obviously, I mean, for us at least, we haven't been disappointed for an episode
Mhm.
yet. Um, for a beginning there, I thought this was going to be a filler episode at the very beginning. I really did.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
but then a moment happened. I can't recall what moment exactly, but I was like, okay, it's real. This is getting. I think it was
I
the moment
think
where they're
I think
on the
I was
ship.
about to say when. Oh, okay, on the ship. I thought you were gonna.
Yeah,
For me, that moment for me was when Killmonger came up and started snitching out Obadiah. When that
yeah,
happened and then the music dropped, I was like, "Oh, bruh, it's over." Like
hmm
this is gonna be a completely different.
Yeah.
vibe right here.
Hmm.
And I kind of was wishing he got an Iron Man suit, but it makes sense as to why he didn't, because Iron Man only became Iron Man because of what Killmonger saved
Yeah.
him from. And if
Hmm.
that never happens, then we never get the Mandarin, we never get all that
Hmm.
other stuff, we never get the dude from AIM, we don't get
Hmm.
Justin Hammer trying to create Iron Man drone. We don't get a lot of these things that happen and
Yeah.
spawn the entire MCU. And that's kind of that's what the Watcher had told us at the beginning. So it's all good for me.
Hmm.
Michael said I got that feeling for episode 1, 4, and 5.
Hmm.
Okay, nice, nice, nice. I definitely can feel that with 4 and 5.
I agree, man. Thinking back at it, I didn't feel that with the episode 2 or the
Mhm.
Star Lord one. I didn't really feel that way.
That's probably the worst one so far.
Yeah,
Like
for me,
honestly,
that's my least favorite
yeah,
one so far. Is that episode 2 or 3? That's 2,
that's
right?
episode 2. Yeah,
Well, then
and
what's
then
episode
3 is
3?
this. No, no, no. Damn.
Captain Marvel? No,
What?
no, it's not Captain Marvel, right?
um, no, we haven't had Captain Marvel yet. Was that Hank Pym?
Oh,
Yeah, that
the
was the
that was
assassination one.
the assassination of all the Marvel. Yeah, that's right, that's right.
Yeah, that was the assassination one. Then we had the Doctor Strange one, and then we had the zombies one. That was the last episode. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think 2 was the only one I really felt that was not giving me that vibe. Like, okay, I'm not watching a comic book come alive. Um, but also 3 is also one of my favorite ones, only because I'm a huge fan of Deadpool kills the MCU universe. Um, and that's like one of the first digital comics I've ever bought. Uh, with that said, I don't buy digital comics at all anymore. That was the only one I ever bought. Everything I buy now is physical.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I just love stories like that. So I'm also a bit biased when it comes to that type of stuff. But episode 2 for sure was not was my least favorite episode so far.
Yeah, episode 2 was good, but it was
Yes.
definitely a teaser, not a teaser, a filler episode.
Hmm.
Um, and it was a good. I think it was a good thing that it was episode 2, because anywhere
Yeah.
else that it was placed, like we wouldn't even have appreciated it like at all because of how good every other episode has been.
I wish
Like
it
if
would have been even episode 1, if I'm being honest, and have episode 1 be episode 2,
I
because then it
don't
just
know,
gets
man,
better and better and better and better.
because then our expectations would have been extra low from that. Like
Yeah.
I think if they would have started with episode 2, I don't think a lot of people would have came back.
Mm,
You know what I mean? I think people would have been like, "What the hell is this?
yeah. Even the
Why is my
comedy,
man?" Yeah, it was real
e-
interesting.
even the comedy and stuff like that was. I don't want to use the word kiddish, but it felt really kiddish.
Yeah,
You know, or
it
I
felt
guess
even more watered down than the regular Guardians of the Galaxy.
you could even say cliche at times. You know, but yeah, I'm really excited about the show, man, and I
I am just so baffled that Brett said that this was the worst episode. I'm like, I am freaking
mhm,
mind blown.
yeah,
I just keep playing back in my head, and that was just so. It was so lit. I loved how Killmonger played literally everyone
mhm,
except Shuri. Shuri was like, "Bro, nah,
mhm,
no, bro, you're wilding." I loved it, and then Pepper as well. She was like, "Nah, man, this isn't it." And even that fit for their characters. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
what is up with it, Daniel? How
Yo,
you
Daniel,
doing,
how's it
brother? How
going?
did you like this episode, my G? Welcome back. Welcome back. Um, Michael said episode two to me, when Yondu out of nowhere gets young T'Challa, then wait, what? Episode 2 to me, when Yondu out of nowhere gets young T'Challa, then Peter Quill.
Other than Peter Quill, I'm assuming. Like he's explaining what happened in episode 2. I'm pretty sure. I think.
I don't know because he was saying to me, so I don't know. I don't know.
Mm.
I'm not sure. But yeah, episode 2 was a good one, but I did not like how they did Thanos. Thanos shouldn't have got beat up by his little homies. Like he shouldn't have got beat up by his entourage. Basically, they shouldn't have put the paws on him.
Mhm.
He's still a freaking deviant. Like, you know what I mean? He boxed Hulk to his, like he beat up Hulk, just blended him up real quick. So I'm pretty sure his partners can't like his people. The what is it? What do they call it? The Black Order? I'm pretty sure the
Yeah,
Black Order can't just take him out. You know what I mean?
yeah. And
Um,
I wonder if he even met the Black Order because they didn't even seem like, oh, we can't, he's our old master. We can't, like we shouldn't fight him, But they were like, oh, we're gonna kill him immediately. Like they're, and
mhm.
it might be just the Black Order, being super super violent, But I feel like them being so loyal to the Thanos, that we know, you would think that they would remember or at least acknowledge the fact that okay, hey, you know what?
I
He was
think it
our
was the
former
fact
leader.
that he switched over though is why they left him because the Black Order was like strictly like in allegiance to him because of the like death and
Mhm.
stuff that he was trying to
Yeah.
spread throughout
Hmm.
everyone.
Yeah.
Um, but that I really love this episode, bro. I really love this episode. The Gundams were awesome. I don't think I never thought we were going to see anything like that from the MCU, even more like that specifically. Like, I know these last couple of episodes have been really like crazy and just out of the box, but to see like an all out sci fi like anime
Hmm.
war basically break out
Yeah.
between Wakanda and America, you know what I mean? And seeing T'Challa come through and finesse everyone the way T'Challa would. I mean, he definitely fed off of Iron Man being Tony. I mean, like that Tony Stark, that era of Tony Stark
Yeah.
would have did everything that he did in this what if. You know what I mean? I
Hmm.
don't think anything is out of the bounds of the characters that they utilize. Like bro, like that. It seems like really great storytelling. Like to me personally, I really appreciate the storytelling that they utilize when building off of a character that we already expect something from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people are looking at Tony Stark and they're thinking of the Tony Stark that we have now, like or well that we had, that we had
Hmm.
now. But it's like that Tony Stark wouldn't have never been him without all this stuff that he went through, and he didn't go through that in this case scenario. So
Yeah.
this is what he would have did instead. And I just think
Mhm.
that's was freaking awesome, bro. Um, I love how Rhodes was in it, but he wasn't in it deep because
Mhm.
like him and Rhodes were friends, but him and Rhodes' relationship really built because
Yeah, they really
Rhodes was in the
bonded
air,
over the
yeah,
yeah.
off of the Iron Man stuff because he had the suit. Then Iron Man is dying in like what is that? Iron Man 2, he's freaking dying from the
Yeah.
poison that's killing him slowly. So they even bond closer. So
Mhm.
it's like, bro, like, and we don't get to see that bond in this, like, we don't get to see that bond anymore. And instead, he builds that bond and he builds that relationship with
Mhm.
Killmonger. And I think by
Mhm.
building that relationship with Killmonger instead, I really wish we got to see a little bit more happen, to be honest.
Mhm.
Like more of their relationship, but it still makes sense because look at what Iron Man did with like in a cage. He built that suit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
yeah. Michael says, so episode 6 is where Killmonger won and takes action earlier, and I like it. Exactly. He basically has his same plan that he did in Black Panther. He's just
Yeah.
going about it a different way, yo. And that's what I
Mhm.
loved about it. He's
Yeah.
still smart. He still killed Obadiah. He still
Mhm.
used Obadiah to get access into the place. He shows his lip the same way. Like, bro,
And
you can't get better than that.
and this is before the Avengers. I mean, the movie we got was
Mm-hmm.
after the fact, It was after Ultron. No, Civil War. Uh so the Sokovia Accords are a thing, They're not a thing right now. This is so early
Yeah,
on. This is like before the team is even assembled. So that's, you know, you got to think
Yeah,
about how that is going to impact not only the MCU, but just all the other characters in general. You know,
yeah,
but luckily Pepper and Shuri are working together, figuring out solution. You know, so
exactly.
I just wish we got to see that solution. I really do.
Hopefully, we get to see it in season 2.
Mm,
Daniel says, I appreciate the story in this episode because it gives us an extensive story to Killmonger and what Tony could have been if he didn't get captured.
mm,
Exactly, bro.
yep.
Exactly. Um, I think I felt underwhelmed towards the end because it felt like the Wakandans were gullible to let Killmonger
I
trust
did feel like
and
that too,
trust him
man.
so easily without suspecting anything.
And
Okay,
it,
okay. So, well, wait. Go ahead and say what you were gonna say, bro. Because I'm about to come with the answer because I was thinking the same thing, but I already got it.
my belief is because the dad was still alive, and so they're still in. I don't want to say a global state, but like a naive state in terms of what the outside world can really do to them. Besides Claw,
Mm,
they haven't really needed to deal with the outside world in terms of like that of outside attackers. But now that they have Killmonger, he's an outsider, of course, but he's Wakandan. And I think that meant something to them on a whole different level, more so to the dad, especially for what they did or what he
yeah.
did to his dad.
And that's really the reason though.
Yeah,
That's what the whole purpose is what you just said right there. Because we got to remember that not Killmonger, what T'Chaka, King T'Chaka, he felt bad about what he did to his brother the entire time.
yeah,
And so did the other one. I can't think of what his name is. The uncle that was like in the
yeah,
distance, that's played by Forrest Whitaker.
yeah,
Um, he felt bad about it too. Like they all felt really bad about what happened. So
hmm
T'Challa dying and getting murdered by what seemed to be the U.S. government to them, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like it would spawn a different type of you know,
conflict.
anger and conflict. Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's not that they didn't suspect anything because they did suspect something for sure. But the king is the king and the king spoke, you know what I mean? So they're not going to go against the king. We
hmm
saw with the Dharma Laje in Black Panther. They didn't want to go against they didn't even go against Killmonger because he was the rightful king at that time. You know what I'm saying? So
hmm
with that happening, it makes it it's just understandable as to why they would go, why everything happened the way it did.
hmm
They didn't have time to really think about anything through because the forces were there immediately. It wasn't like, oh yeah, well we have a day to think about all of this. There's nothing like that. We don't have a day to think about anything. We have
yeah,
to think about this here and now in this moment because we have people knocking at our gates that are trying to attack us. So
hmm
no one was, I don't feel like anyone was naive per se. I just feel like they were reacting in the moment, and T'Chaka didn't have T'Challa and he wanted his nephew by his side. You know what I mean? I
hmm
understand it. When he see I think if T'Chaka was alive to see his nephew, then it would have been different. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like even in the movies, it would have been different. So I once again, I think they did a good job. Nikki says, I Tony Stark would have had a contingency plan for the bot getting ripped apart by Killmonger. Nah, bro, I'm telling you,
I
you
don't.
guys are thinking so far ahead still. You're not. This isn't Iron Man yet, bro. He doesn't even know how. This is the
I don't
first
think he.
suit
Yeah.
he built ever. He does.
He also.
There's
He also. Besides the shield that Cap has, hasn't dealt with vibranium or even know what it is.
now he's never seen Captain America's shield.
Oh, so yeah, he has.
Captain
He might
America's
know.
shield at this time is frozen with Captain
Yeah.
America.
So he may or may not even know about who Captain America is, or know that his shield was even made of. Like he didn't know what it was until Killmonger brought it up.
No,
You
he
know.
knew about vibranium, but he just didn't. He was just saying that there is no vibranium left. He was like,
hmm
my dad used the last of it basically to
hmm
make Captain America's shield. There is no
Yeah.
vibranium. and then he gave him the ring. Da 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 da. Da. That was all. It was all. That was good. Tony Stark
I
would have had a contingency plan if he built the Iron Man suit,
yeah,
but he didn't build the suit for him. He
yeah.
built, you know what I mean? Like,
I do feel you, Nikki, though, because I did feel like he did go out pretty easily, a little too easy for me. But at the same time, he never did become Iron Man. He never
he didn't
became.
know Killmonger was about to take out the freaking
Yeah,
murder pot. What? He didn't know that. You know, Killmonger is a badass, but he didn't know he's a freaking that
I
type
also
of
don't think he would. I don't think he also didn't expect him to come back with like a vibranium spear. That just takes that
Mhm.
machine apart in like a second. You know. But
Yep.
again,
He doesn't even know how vibranium works that like that. You know,
yeah.
like you were saying, they're not sure.
I mean, it sucks that he died the way he died, but it also added an element to the story that I appreciate. And we wouldn't have the story we had if he didn't die. So that's something to think about.
I agree. And I don't know how to feel about the episode's ending. Will they have a continuation or will they leave it as that? I hope to see what Shuri and Pepper do next. I agree. If they don't give that an ending, if they don't pay that off,
Mhm.
I will be a little
Yeah,
irritated.
and we talked
I
about maybe a
will.
season two. Maybe that's what they're trying to do.
Mhm.
Like continue each episode in the next season, and then introduce new stories as well.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Kevin Feige or someone will confirm what's going to happen with that soon. But I
Yeah.
don't know. Hopefully, we get to see some continuation. Obviously, not on all episodes. I don't think they're that important, but like maybe three or 4 out of the 6 definitely need to get a continuation for sure.
Yeah. Definitely. Daniel also said, I'm assuming T'Chaka didn't feel the guilt that T'Chaka in our universe felt because in the what if Killmonger's dad was killed by gangsters, not by T'Chaka. I'm pretty sure he was lying about that. Everything still happened the same way. Uh,
I think
all
so
the
as well.
yeah,
I'm not sure though.
everything still happened the same way with that. That's why he was trying to get to Wakanda in the first place. And his dad, T'Chaka even knew about Killmonger because of this thing that happened in the beginning of the Black Panther movie.
Yeah.
Like that's still all of that stuff. Everything that happened in the MCU up until that moment happened the same way.
Well, technically, nothing in the MCU happened yet at this point.
No, that's not
But then
true.
again,
Captain Marvel is still a thing. Captain America is still a thing. All
oh
that still
yeah.
happened. Yeah, all that still
Oh,
happened.
and I
It's
also
just
forget that
everything that
happened when they were
Iron
kids.
Man. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
But
Um, have y'all heard about Doctor Voodoo and Doctor Strange? I've
yep.
heard about. I've heard about. I've
There's
heard
a
that it's either going to be Doctor Voodoo or Nightmare. I think that's what it
yeah.
was, or some. And then there was another person in there, and I can't think of who
Mhm.
the other
Yeah.
person was.
There's another person in there.
Yeah. I.e., the turning point was the death of Killmonger's dad by gangsters, not by the child. Oh yeah. I got you. My bad. Thanks for pointing that out. I got you, my boy. I got you. This is what we do in here, man. Because I like watching this episode was. I feel like this episode more than this episode and the last one, they did a wonderful job on capitalizing on the character at the
Yeah.
point of where we see them at in the
Hmm.
MCU. Like
Oh yeah.
a lot of people's gripes with the zombies one was like, oh, no one even cared that their friend just died. And it was like, bro, they've been friends for all of like 3 seconds. Like they don't know each other like that. None of them know.
Hmm.
It's just like how it is on The Walking Dead. It's just they haven't got to the point of being around each other that long.
Yeah.
Zombies took over the whole North Pacific. They said in 24 hours, bro. Like everyone was zombies in 24 hours. So,
Hmm.
bro, it's like, they had no choice of anything. Everything just
Hmm.
started going immediately. So Wasp and Spider-Man aren't best friends, so there's no reason for them to feel any type of way when she died. You know what I mean? No one needs to feel any type of way about anything other
Yeah.
than someone died. Like that's
Hmm.
the thing. Is like, oh, someone died, but they still are running for their lives and trying to be safe. So
Hmm.
hopefully people can from now on start trying to like not look at the show without. I mean, when you watch the show, you have to remember the MCU is still a thing. It's just that something changed within that moment, in the
Yeah.
timeline. And if you miss that moment, then you're not gonna like it as much. You're like, this is stupid. Why didn't he do this and that? And it's like, well, because he
Yeah.
wouldn't have did that because at this time that wasn't who he was. It's
Yeah.
like saying why wasn't Hulk Professor Hulk in the one we just saw him in? It's like, bro, because that didn't happen until after Infinity War.
Yeah.
So you can't expect something that hasn't happened yet.
Mhm.
Michael says, I think in the future episodes of What If Season 2, maybe what if the Eternals came early with the Avengers? Ooh, or what if the Eternals arrive rather than Captain Marvel? Oh, that was lit. And what if the real Mandarin was introduced? Oh, those are
All
some damn
yeah,
good
all
what ifs,
3 of
bro.
those sound like Yo, that's a good point. Do you think we'll see an Eternal episode in What If at all?
I think so. Yeah. I don't
I mean,
think,
I
like,
think we
maybe not
actually.
in this season. I don't think so.
Yeah, I was
Because
gonna
the
say we might
Eternals.
know already, unless they come
Wait,
inside one of the
wait a second.
episodes.
Because we got this one. Yeah, no. Eternals isn't going to be out until after the show is done.
Mhm.
So I don't think we're going to have the Eternals introduced.
Yeah.
And especially because,
Oh, yeah, that's a good
well,
point.
well,
We have to
technically, Eternals, Shang-Chi, and Black Widow were all supposed to be out before we got this.
Yeah.
So I guess technically we could see them.
Mhm.
Technically. Um, if you guys are just now tuning in, make sure you drop a like and a share on the stream because it helps out a lot. We are live right now on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at Marvel Bros 23. Make sure you check it out. Also, join our Discord. You can check out our website, www.marvelbros.com, to purchase our merchandise and all that awesome stuff. You guys are awesome for chilling with us through the watch party and now the open discussion. We really appreciate it. Um, uh, okay. My man Andrew said, I liked how we saw three important moments we knew for Tony in the original timeline, making the Mark One, the Avengers, and his snap sacrifice.
That was
Exactly.
actually
I
really
really
dope moment.
appreciated that
I
too.
wasn't expecting that. Also, another thing that I really liked was how they utilized the Watcher in this episode. They used him more in this episode than I think than any other episode so far.
You're right.
Um, and thinking about it, and every episode from one to now, he's becoming increasingly. Um, we've been getting more detail on him. This is the
Yep.
clearest look we've had of him yet. Um, and I think I don't know, maybe like he's getting to the point where like, okay, I've been watching these timelines for a while now. I'm getting comfortable. Maybe it's time to, he might show himself in an
Yeah.
episode. And I think that might be. I don't know. It's kind of crazy, but
I
maybe.
mean, in the comics, a Watcher, one of the Watchers, is the reason why the zombie virus breaks out
Oh, really?
in the What If Zombies comic book. It's because of a Watcher, not Uatu,
Mm,
but it is because of a Watcher.
yeah.
And we see that in a couple of episodes, not a couple of episodes, but in a couple of things, the Watcher shows up and he's like, and he interferes, and that's what I'm kind of waiting for.
Hmm.
Is for the interference, and I can't, I can't even fathom what could be so disastrous other than
Yeah.
all the shit that's happened to make him come into it. You know what I mean? Like if
Hmm.
he didn't do that for no, well, he kind of did come in Doctor Strange though. They talked, and that I really
Yeah.
like that. That was like one of my favorite
I wasn't
things
expecting
that
that
we
at
saw.
all.
hmm But yeah, yo, I'm pumped. I'm pumped for everything that we got to come. I heard in season 2 there will be a what if for the Black Widow movie. I would like that.
I would
I want to see
definitely like
what's
that.
going on with Red Guardian. I heard something about uh about Red Guardian not being like his timeline, he actually did fight Captain America because it's not our timeline that we know because of the events in Loki, so to speak.
Yeah.
So, you know how one of those branches go out and create something in the past?
Yeah.
Like someone had said that one of those branches is that thing or whatever. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Which is something I would love to see. Man, even in an alternate timeline, Killmonger is still evil.
Yeah.
Hey, but that's because the event still happened to him the same way. So he's still a product of his environment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing changed but him meeting Iron Man. Everything else was the same. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
pretty sure, okay, so how many years is that of, I think it's like a 5 year, he just did everything 5 years earlier, I think.
Yeah.
Like 5 to 7 years earlier. Because
I think so, actually. Thinking about the timeline.
2008, yeah, because Black Panther is like 2016, I think, isn't it? 2018. So
I actually don't know. I feel like the MCU timeline though is with like
yeah,
within 5 years, not.
yeah, it's like 5 to 7 years. It's like right there.
But I don't
What?
know for sure.
Hold on, let me catch up to these comments real quick. I hope we have centric episode of Howard the Duck or a live action film of Howard the Duck. I think we do have a live. I thought we had something with Howard the Duck coming.
Oh no, we do have a live action. It's complete garbage. It's very difficult to watch.
No, like a new one, not the old one.
Oh no, I don't think we have a new one. I
We
think
don't
there
have
might be.
anything new with Howard the Duck.
No, yeah, it's just the old one. It's quite disturbing, honestly, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it is disturbing. I know exactly what you're talking
about.
It's creepier than Who Framed Roger Rabbit. It's like it's bad.
it's pretty rough. So I'm pretty. I'd be interested to see how they even do another one. Obviously, I think the technology's caught up to where they can easily do it.
It would be like I think it would be like the Sonic movie, like something like that.
Yeah. Yep.
Andrew said, I think Ultron fused with Vision Infinity Stones would bring them together. I think that's going to be what if Ultron got Vision's body, like because that was supposed to be his body. Like he made that, so I'm pretty sure. I hope that's what we get because bro, and I hope it's James Spader. Yo, I'm advocate for Ultron, my guy. Ultron has to come back in this next phase.
You think it's the next episode?
I honestly don't think it's the next episode because I knew Killmonger was going to be this episode from last week. So now I think this episode is going to be something different. Maybe the Gamora episode because we haven't seen that go down in a minute. How did you feel about the Avengers team up 360 that we saw being this episode though? Because I thought that was going to be an episode in its own right, but it was part of this one. And I honestly didn't like that because I wanted the Avengers.
Well, the one that I remember seeing has Gamora in it, looking like Thanos. In the trailers. Instead of Black Widow, I think it was Gamora.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that.
Or Gamora was in it rather than some of the characters were not, and I think even Captain Britain was in there as well. Unless there's a different one that I'm not thinking of.
I have no idea. I have no idea what you're talking about. I haven't seen that at all.
I really enjoed seeing those.
I wish you hadn't said that. I'm just playing.
I didn't think we'd actually see Tony Stark snap at all. I think that was a cool little. I guess you can call it Easter egg included in the show.
Yeah, I want to see. I need that still. That's gonna be my background for a couple of days because that shit was raw. Daniel says, what if the Watcher intervenes, confronts He Who Remains at the end of the series? Oh, that would be awesome.
Pretty cool.
That would be amazing if he confronts He Who Remains, yo. And that be like the thing. Yeah, that was freaking awesome. That would be amazing. Andrew says, how was Killmonger an adult in 2008? Wouldn't he be like 10? What? No. He was like...
We don't have a timeline definite yet.
Okay, when his dad died, I think it was the 90s that movie.
Yeah.
And he had to be like 12. I don't
Yeah.
think he was like 8 or anything like that. So he had to be like 12, and that probably happened in like 96. And then so to 98, that's another 12, 13 years.
He was like in his 30s or late 20s during
Yeah.
this episode. Um, Same with
He's
T'Challa,
definitely late 20s. Yeah.
because the Black Panther, even him, he was apparently older by a couple years, but not that much older. But they were both like in the like 31 to 38 range, somewhere around there. Apparently, I'm not sure. That's something we looked up earlier in the episode, uh, earlier in today's discussion, but it wasn't necessarily confirmed. So if you guys find something else that clarifies that, let us know.
Definitely. Daniel said, was Howard the Duck previously creepy and rough as an adult oriented?
Yes. Well, at one point in the movie, they try and have a human girl and him get together in bed. Like it's just it's very disturbing movie.
I don't
It,
even know how to explain Howard the Duck to anyone because Howard the Duck is like
I forget the whole plot. Honestly, was he being chased? I think he was being chased.
he's like the I don't even know how to say it. He is um the stereotypical 1950s adult white male. Like that's the best way that I could put it, because it's freaking crazy. Uh Daniel also said in the trailer there was Gamora and Thanos armor as well as other characters who weren't the
Yeah,
original Avengers being circled around. Yeah, see,
yeah.
I didn't see that, and that's exactly why I stay away from trailers because
Well, no, that was the
of
very
stuff
first
like
trailer that we
that.
ever saw. That was.
No,
I promise you. I
bro,
swear. I'm not.
there's no way, bro.
Yep. I'm telling
There's
you.
no way.
That
I'm
was one of
pretty
the
sure you
first.
saw that on something different, bro.
That was
Because
one of the first or second trailers we ever saw with What If.
I'm
Because remember
definitely
we
gonna have to
saw.
go back and look at it because I don't recall that at all. The only one that I recall is that circle of the Avengers that we saw in this
Mm,
episode. That's the only one that I recall.
no, yeah, we'll have to possibly go back because I don't know why. A part of me thinks they came out. I'm thinking of a different movie because I know that happened in a sense where it came out, they gave us a trailer, and then they released a new. I'm thinking of
The Guardians of the Galaxy game. No, is that not what you're thinking about?
No Way to Die. How like we got the trailer, and then they gave it a new trailer that was even better than the original trailer and showed us more than the original trailer.
Mm,
I don't know why I'm thinking about like that, but I feel like there was a sin case for What If. I could be terribly wrong though.
if that is what happened, then I'm not. I don't know. Andrew said, "Now that Killmonger killed Tony and T'Challa, how would this MCU timeline be affected?" Um.
That's a good question.
Okay, so let's start if we start at the beginning, then
We're at war.
we wouldn't have I don't think we would technically have Hulk because Tony is the one that went to the
Hmm.
general to get Hulk,
Yeah.
so to speak. Um I don't think we would have what else comes from that? Ultron, obviously, and then Vision comes from that as well.
Hmm.
Um I don't think we would get the Avengers as they are because I'm
It'd be
not
very
sure. I
different.
don't. Yeah, it wouldn't be the Avengers that we know. It would be Hawkeye for sure. Maybe still Thor, but the events of the Avengers movie might still happen. That might still happen, but it would go down differently because Tony wouldn't be there to save anything.
Yeah.
Because once again, we got to remember that anything that's outside of that is still going to happen.
Hmm.
So all the stuff with Loki is still going to happen. The stuff with Thor still happens. Odin, Hela, all that good stuff probably still happens. Thanos still happens. It's not like Thanos doesn't. I'm pretty sure Thanos would come earlier actually
Hmm.
because of what Loki. Because Loki would probably succeed because the bomb wouldn't go into the space to close the portal. No Sokovia Accords and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Wanda and Quicksilver don't get saved because they don't go into there and do all that stuff. No Spider-Man because Tony's the one who found him. No Mysterio because the barf technology technically wouldn't be created because Tony's dead. No Avengers Tower. A lot of shit.
We
We
wouldn't
wouldn't
have
have anything,
yeah.
bro.
Nothing. And not only that, we're at war with Wakanda.
Aliens.
So
Oh yeah, Wakanda. That's right. Yeah, Wakanda and aliens. Ooh, I wonder how that would play out. Like,
yeah, it'd be like a
because
complete mess. Like everything's different. Like
yeah,
who
everything's
knows?
different.
Hawkeye gets killed by a Wakandan. You know, there's so many factors.
Oh, I see what
You
you're
know,
saying. Because now
you know,
Shield
just that.
might have to come
Yeah,
in and okay. No,
even
yeah,
that war alone messes up everything. But obviously, Iron Man not becoming Iron Man affects everything. You know, if they ever get to the point of Endgame, no one stops Thanos, and I mean, essentially he wins unless someone else has that mantle. But even then, you know, there's just I don't know.
Yeah, because Captain Marvel is still a person though, so she can still. So maybe she comes back early because Iron Man doesn't stop the events in the Avengers movie. So then Nick Fury hits the button earlier to call Captain Marvel in. You know what I mean? Let's let's come back into Leonardo said no Ultron, no Vision, no Civil War, etc.
Yeah,
Exactly. And there's something else that keeps coming to my mind, but I can't get it off of my tongue. I think I already said Justin Hammer and all that stuff. Damn, I can't think of what it is that I was about to say. Michael said, "Oh yeah, I remember that film. Watched that when I was 5. I was freaking out. Yeah, the Howard the Duck movie. Yeah, that shit is not for the light of heart.
yeah. I just
Loki would take
rewatched
over.
it a couple years ago, and
Whoa,
it was not an easy watch. I'll say that.
for real. Loki would take over New York. Yep, that is what would happen. Daniel said, actually, you're both right. I think they kind of glitched to show both the original Avengers and glitched it to the alternative Avengers. Okay.
I mean, it makes sense. Makes
That does
sense.
make sense. And I probably didn't even notice it because I was so taken back by the rest of the trailer. I probably just missed it. Andrew said, basically, Tony is the reason the entire MCU events happens when he goes to the cave.
That's pretty much that what this episode says, man. And it's crazy to think about how pivotal character Iron Man really was. You know, and obviously Robert Downey Jr. just embodied that character so well. And I hope we see him again in some capacity. I really do. I know that he's gone now, but I think him as an AI,
an
or
Ironheart,
I think that makes a lot of sense, and I think that'd be pretty cool. But I don't think Robert Downey is going to be involved with the project any further. Unless they give him, even more insane amounts of money.
Literally. But when he goes to the cave, I think honestly, to me, I feel like Tony is the reason the entire MCU happens the way we know it.
Yeah.
So the entire MCU is still going to happen. Like that's one thing that I want to like capitalize on is that any events that didn't take place on Earth are still going to happen. Guardians of the Galaxy, Captain Marvel, well, not Captain Marvel really, but kind of. Captain Marvel because that's even before this happened, and so is Captain Marvel, Captain America, and I think Captain America coming back is also in this area somewhere. I think it's the second movie, Iron Man 2, when that is happening at the same time. So Captain America is still going to come back. You know what I mean? Like that's all that type of stuff is still going to continue to happen. So like what would be the MCU if it was built off of Captain America instead of Iron Man? You know what I mean? We wouldn't have the technology like how we have it right now, because a lot of the villains that we have had are based highly off of the technology that Tony uses. So Prashant coming with the chant. I love you, Marvel Bros. I love you, Marvel Bros. I love you, Marvel Bros.
Appreciate it, man. We appreciate the love, man.
Yes, sir. We really do appreciate the love. Shuri could become Ironheart and theoretically create the Vision.
Oh, maybe that's what she does.
She could create
Raise
Ultron.
Vision to defeat. Oh,
I think I don't. Do you think she would go straight to Vision? Nah, that sounds more like Shuri. Like that she would go straight to Vision rather than even going from Ultron to Vision. You know what I mean? That doesn't even
Ultron wouldn't even happen technically.
Yeah, because Ultron is a direct derivative of Jarvis from Iron Man, and that's what creates Vision. So
in this
it's
episode.
like
So it's already impossible, like because of what happens in this episode.
Oh, and we still have Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne. They're still there too, and Ant-Man. So all that is still that still happens the same way as well. I would like Shuri to become Ironheart, though. That would be freaking awesome. And that's what I thought they were setting up at the end there when she came into the place to talk to her.
I'm surprised that's not what they actually did in the real MCU, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I was a little surprised about that too. When we had announced that they chose an actual different actress to play Ironheart, we were like, "What?"
With that said, she looks like she's, I think she'll do really well for the role. And I think someone in the comments mentioned Armor Wars, and I think Armor Wars is going to be pretty awesome, and give us a lot of cool intros. And that's going to be the first time we're going to see Ironheart. So I'm very curious to see how that character is.
Yeah, because Michael says, do you think that AI Tony will appear in Armor Wars? And just to say, like what you were saying, I don't think he'll show up, but I do think that not Shuri. I can't even think of Ironheart's real name. Ironheart will show up. She's gonna definitely.
Isn't it like something Williams? I don't know.
Riri Williams, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I know it's something Williams. I think it's gonna be a good show, and I think this show is also going to give us the biggest look as to the aftermath of the blip, of everyone coming back, and just the aftermath of how, like, what happened to all the Stark tech that wasn't being guarded, And I think we're going to see more of the background stuff that we've been begging to see, like what happened right after the snap happened and right when everyone came back,
Yeah.
Like, did people show up in the middle of the air where their plane was? They fallen to their death. Yeah. Like, did that stuff happen? Like, I want to know more about that side of things and more of that world. So I think Armor Wars is going to give us a great look into that.
Yeah, I agree. Andrew said it was weird not hearing RDJ in this episode. I agree. It was weird. Michael says, I think in Armor Wars we might see a cameo or debut of Norman or Victor Von Doom.
That's actually kind of a good possibility, I think. I don't know if that's for sure going to happen. I feel like it's too early for both those characters, honestly.
I don't know why they would be in Armor Wars per se, but I understand what you're coming from, though, because they have both worn the Iron Man suit. So I understand where you're coming from, but we need them introduced, like Battery was just saying. It's too early. We don't even know who those dudes are. I think we're going to get Iron Lad in Armor Wars, and then and then we're gonna get like Riri Williams as well, and then we'll have like multiple Iron people, and it won't just be one Iron Man. You know what I mean? Kind of like how I think we saw that in something else, just people dressing up as that was not Batman Begins. I think it was the other Batman movie when there was like 7 dudes in Batman costumes, like trying to stop the Scarecrow and all that stuff. You remember that at the beginning of that?
Dark Knight.
Is that Dark Knight? I don't know.
Yeah, it's Dark Knight. Yeah.
But we can see something like that. Now people know that it's a possibility to be a superhero, so everyone's gonna try to be one. And I think it would be awesome to see that Norman Osborn cameo in that, though, because he does come in a way to take Iron Man's place in the comic books. That's how he kind
Hmm.
of gets the whole Dark Avengers started. And I
Yeah,
also think Armor Wars would be a good place to start that Dark Avengers type of stuff that's
yeah,
going on.
100%.
Um, Basically, every MCU film since 2008 was the original timeline. This is alternate.
Yep,
Yeah, every move, every yeah,
I think so.
every. Well, not yes. I mean yes, but no, because a lot of stuff happened out of sequence because of how the movies work. So certain things go in the past and everything. Oh, you know what, Leonardo? I think you're right. I got the impression Shuri rebooted Jarvis due to the information she had on Killmonger's killing of Tony and T'Challa.
Hmm.
Yeah, because that
And
is
it
what
looks
she
like,
said. She said, I think she said he underestimated Jarvis. Someone said that. Either
hmm
Shuri said it or Pepper said it.
yeah, and it might have been another Ultron situation, like how uh, what he did was to make Ultron believe that he had murdered him or destroyed him, but like he was just in the background the whole time. Uh,
Mm.
Kept him away from like nuclear codes and stuff like that. I love that part about Jarvis. By the way, I really enjoyed Jarvis as a robotic character.
Character, yeah.
I really did because he actually had like flair and he actually had some sort of substance to him, which was uh, pretty cool considering it was a robot.
Yeah.
Um, but I love how he later becomes Vision or
Mhm.
the voice of Vision, and I really like that.
Yeah. I love that too, and that's right out the comics right there too. So
Hmm.
I love how they do stuff like that. It's just mm, magnifique. It was funny how Stain was ratted out too quickly. Yeah, that was awesome. I liked how uh Iron Man went about creating iron like the Ironmonger and
Yeah,
the Hammer drones and uh the Whiplash dude stuff. Like he combined all of that together, so to speak.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Um and I was mind blown that they could do so much without an energy with like the vibranium being the energy source. I didn't even know that was possible, I guess you could say. You know what I
yeah,
mean? My man Iron Man had to create a whole separate uh he had to create an entirely different element in order to keep himself alive. So
yeah.
I'm wondering how he would have did that. How that would have taken with the
Hmm.
vibranium. Like would that have burnt out the same way if he had a vibranium core instead and all that good stuff?
Yeah.
I think this episode really honed in on making us as fans dive deeper within the MCU
Hmm.
because because it's like you have to if you're not caught up with what's happened with these characters and their backstories and everything seems very out of place and very weird. And like they've made it to where you can watch this non-canonically
Hmm.
and still keep up with it, but you get more satisfaction if you have the backstory of what's already happened because
Yeah.
this is a multiverse. So,
Hmm.
oh yeah, what will happen to Iron Man's armors since he is gone now? Holy shit, I never even thought about that. That's the basis of the movie, right? That's the basis of the show right there. That's why it's called Armor Wars because everyone's fighting over his suits because he
Hmm.
had thousands of them hoes.
Yeah. And more importantly, he probably had an army of drones that were
Yo.
suits, very similar like we saw in Iron Man 3. Uh, so they're probably,
Oh. Yeah, I
yeah,
got you.
so I think,
The Ultron bots.
yeah. And I
Mhm.
think, I don't know. I think just very similar to What If. I think we're going to get some pretty awesome surprises and looks into things that we've never had chance to look at before in the MCU with Armor Wars.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, bro. I definitely agree with that one because Armor Wars is going to really show us some good stuff, bro. I have high hopes for Armor Wars. Armor
Mm-hmm.
Wars, Secret Invasion, and Ironheart are the three ones that I have
Yeah.
high hope. No, not Ironheart, Moon Knight. Those are the ones that I have really high hopes
Mm-hmm.
for in the terms of setting the tone for the
Yeah.
ground level of the MCU here on out. I
Yeah.
guess is the best way to kind of put that together. Um, yeah. With all that being said, you guys, I think this is a good time to bring it to a wrap. You feel me? You guys have been awesome tonight. You guys been rocking with us. A lot of you been rocking with us for this whole 2 hours that we've been live. For the watch party, for the discussion, all that good stuff. It's been an amazing time. Um, we are definitely going to be back next week, next Tuesday, doing this again. So
100%.
make sure you join our Discord. The link is in the description box, and there's a comment somewhere in here with the link to our Discord. And you can also follow the link that is on our website at www.marvelbros.com, where you can check out our live videos there. You can purchase our merchandise, and you can donate to help what we do here to better it for you guys.
Yep. Also, please make sure to follow us on all of our social medias at MarvelBros23 on our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and our YouTube channel where we post all of our content, much more.
That's right. And with all of that loveliness being said, once again, we appreciate you guys, and we hope we see you in the Discord. We'll be talking about this episode tomorrow for sure in the Discord. So jump in there, and we hope you guys have a good rest of your night, day, or wherever it is, wherever you are.
Peace.
Excelsior. Marvel Bros Pop Culture News Updates are now available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. You can also watch Marvel Bros live every Sunday on Facebook.com, or you can watch them on YouTube where we upload regularly. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Marvel Bros 23 to keep up with all things Marvel and everything pop culture.